Hello everyone, welcome to another Thread video by Music is a Journey. I'm Peter, and yes, this is Thread Week here at Music is a Journey from July 20th, I guess through to the 25th or 26th, however I schedule these. However, during this week, I'm not here. I'm off climbing a mountain somewhere in Nagano, I think. I'll tell you all about it when I get back. So, while I'm away, I thought it would be a chance to upload a series of short videos of me participating in various threads, contests, competitions, and whatnot. And this is video number 5. Today, I am going to be participating in the summer thread started by Greg at Spirit of Vinyl, which he posted back on June 20th. Today is July 18th as of the recording of this, and this video will probably come up on July 25th. So we're a little behind schedule, but trust me, we are in the middle of summer here, so let's take it away. 5 songs related to summer, that's what I'm going with here, because that's what Craig's asking for, things related to summer. So I first came to Japan to live in July of 1999. July 1st, actually, Canada Day, I arrived in Japan. After starting my first teaching job, I was walking home to the station one night and passed a music store, and I went in just to take a look because being fresh off the plane and new to Japan, I was very interested in hearing what Japanese artists there were out there. Was there anything that I would be interested in? I wanted to find stuff to get into here in Japan. And there was a song playing in the store which really caught my attention. It was a song called Natsu no Dekigoto, which means summer happening, roughly translated, or more or less translated. And I asked the store clerk, who is that person? Who is that singer or the band? And she said, well, it's a new singer called Yano Maki, which is Maki Yano to the Western folks. Maki is her given name, Yano is her family name. But anyway, in Japan, they do it the other way around. So Yano Maki. And they said she has a single coming out, her first single, but it's not available yet. It'll be available in a week or so. So July 16th, 1999, Yano Maki debuts with her debut single, Natsu no Dekigoto, Summer Happening, and I have been a fan of her music ever since. It's not that every album thrills me. She started out more as a rock singer, later on moved into acoustic. Sometimes she still does some rock songs. I prefer the rock ones over the acoustic ones, but I have picked up pretty much everything she's ever released, except for a live album, a compilation, and a single, because the single was on an album I already had. I bought them in reverse order. I got the album first, so I didn't need the single. Otherwise, I have pretty much all of her singles and stuff. So anyway, that is Yano Maki, Natsu no Dekigoto, Summer Happening, from July 16th, 1999. Another Japanese band I talk about from time to time as one of my favorites. This is actually a pop rock band with a little bit of progressive elements in here and there, I think. I didn't notice it. I was into this band, Garnet Crow, back in the 2000s. Again, this is one of the first bands I picked up when I came here in 1999. They debuted with an EP, mini album, EP, anyway, 6 songs, and I really liked them. And so I followed them throughout most of the 2000s, finally losing interest as my tastes shifted, but later going back to them again and completing their catalog, nearly every single, all the albums, some compilations, basically every released track. So if there's a single with a B-side that I didn't have, but that B-side was on a compilation, and I had the compilation, I didn't need to buy the single. But I have most of their singles, and I think they released something like 36 to 40 single CDs, and I probably have like all but 3 or 4 of them. But the songs that I don't have are on compilations, so I'm good that way. Anyway, this is Garnet Crow. This is a single going way back to just before their full-length debut album, and this is a song called Natsu no Moboroshi, which means Summer Illusion. So anyway, that was one of their first singles going way back to about 2000, I guess. Yeah. So that's Natsu no Moboroshi by Garnet Crow, Summer Illusion. Spirits of Illusion. Did anybody ever watch that Martin Short special where he did a Doug Henning impersonation? That was really funny. Anyway, so summer, this is Saitama, Japan. This is Kumagaya City. We hold the record for the highest temperature in the country. A few years back in July, we hit 41.1 degrees Celsius, but the usual temperature around here is probably about 35 degrees Celsius, which is the title of one of the songs on this album here by Kinoko Teikoku. This is a Japanese, well, they started out as a shoegaze type, alternative rock shoegaze type band, evolved into more of a J-pop band, pop rock band, but with still carrying some of those shoegazy guitar effects in some of their songs. This is an album called Neko to Arerugi, Cats and Allergies. They're the cats. And yeah, one of the songs is 35 degrees Celsius. Yeah, and that is pretty normal temperature around here. Although today a typhoon passed by recently and things cooled down a bit, but now the sun is out, so it's probably up around 36 or maybe 37. Anyway, 35 degrees Celsius. Good summer temperature for Kumagaya City. All right, I happened to pull this off the shelf. This is Kaipa, a Swedish prog band from the 70s, and they still released a bunch of albums in the 2000s and 2010s. I'm not sure what they're doing now, but one of those legendary prog bands from Sweden going back to the 70s. Roine Stolt of the Flower Kings, he appeared in this band way back when he was 17 years old, back in the late 70s. Anyway, I think this is their third album. It is called Solo, and there is a track on here. I know Morten Astad is going to hammer me on my pronunciation, but Visa I Sommaren, which means a summer air, according to the English translation. I picked up sommaren because soma in Danish is maybe spelled the same way, but pronounced slightly differently in Swedish, I guess. Anyway, so there is a song on here about summer from Kaipa's album Solo, which goes back to can't see it, 78. There we go. First released by Decca in 1978. All right, and one more song. This is probably one of the first ones that popped into my head when Craig said he wanted songs about summer, from YNT's Down for the Count album, Summertime Girls. A really fun summertime pop rock song with synthesizer, and very different from what YNT had been doing up until that point. And actually, Summertime Girls appeared as a single on their previous album, which was a live album. It was a live album, and A&M Records thought, let's take one of your recordings and put it on here and release it as a single. So everybody heard this single, Summertime Girls, and thought, what album is it on? Well, it's on a live album, which was really, really strange. And the band wondered, why did A&M Records do that? So they quickly had to throw together an album so they could put that single out on a proper studio album. And that was this one here, Down for the Count. For those who had been following YNT until this point, a lot of disappointments. Their wonderful metallic logo was replaced by a comic book logo. Their metal robot images on the front, or metal animal images, got replaced by kind of a Metropolis meets Dracula type thing, and a lot more synthesizer and some puppy songs on here. But still, the band rocks out really hard in some other tracks. So, Summertime Girls from YNT. Goofy video of them on the beach with girls in bikinis. Yay. California boys. Anyway, that is my contribution to Craig at the Spirit of Vinyl, and his summer contest started way back in June. Thanks everyone for watching, and I got one more video to make, and then I've wrapped up my thread week. So watch out for that one. Take care all. Bye.